Success. Let's talk about it. We all want it. But what does it mean when it eludes us? First, let me say that success can mean any number of things. In fact, it may have different meaning for every one of us. And how we define success changes and grows as we grow. So it's not a static concept. One person's gauge may be monetary. Another person's may be measured in joy. One person's measure could be grit, stick-to-itness, discipline. Another's could be ease and flow. And our measures change over time. Now, I told you last month that I'd be using something called the soul group paths to guide the vlog post this year. And there is a soul group that is particularly focused on success on the physical and material level. That is, the soul has come to know and experience itself as successful. Now, we can all relate to this, whether it's our soul group or not, because we all go through cycles and we all have times of harvest in our lives or success. And so the lessons that this soul group teach us, well, they help us when we're coming into our own time of harvest. Now, if you want to know what all of the soul groups are, Patricia Price has published a lovely booklet that gives an overview, and you can find that online. So let's get back to the original question. What's it mean when success eludes us? I mean, we know that change, transformation, manifestation, it can be instantaneous. Anything's possible. But if it hasn't happened for you yet, if it feels like doors are closing when you want them to open, if you haven't gotten to your pot of gold around your health, your relationship, your work, your money, what does that mean for you? Well, I can tell you what it doesn't mean. It is not a reflection on what you deserve, because you deserve all good things. Your good is your birthright. You are innately deserving just by virtue of getting out of bed this morning. But being deserving doesn't entitle you to success. Your success is your responsibility, and it's also your joy. Now, by that I mean that you have certain unique gifts and talents. But being gifted, being talented doesn't entitle you to success. The work and the play and the joy of it all is first in recognizing and appreciating your gifts. If you haven't reached your pot of gold, do gratitude first and foremost, because that opens your heart. It opens your energy. It helps you to see your life more clearly and to see the opportunities in front of you. It also gives you the energy to keep going, which is the point. If you haven't reached your pot of gold yet, there's more for you to do. There's more to be. So keep going. A prerequisite for experiencing the fullness of yourself is that you use and ultimately share your gifts. Now, I remember listening to a talk given by a man named Ian Lungold. It must have been 8 years ago now. It was around the time when the Mayan calendar was coming to an end, and people were wondering what that meant. And Lungold's teaching was around the Mayan calendars and cosmology. Now, he's in spirit now, but his message still lives on YouTube, and you can find it there if you want to learn more. And one thing that he talked about that really stayed with me was that the Mayans conceived of the evolution of a person, of a people, of a civilization in day and night cycles. The day is the time of illumination, when you learn something new. And the night is a time of practice, when you put what you've learned into practice. In the day you grow in knowledge, and in the night you grow in wisdom. And most of us quit in that practice phase for many reasons, but one reason that I want to touch on today is timing. We quit because we're attached to a particular timeline. I mean, how many times have you been working on something, gotten frustrated, and been this close to giving up, only to take the next step and realize that there was only one more step for you to take. One more step, and you're there. And this is the key. This is something that I remind myself of, that I remind my clients and my students of often. There's your timeline, and there's divine right time. Your timeline takes your life into account, right? But in the larger scheme of things, there are countless other souls, each one as deserving as the next, and each one interconnected. And divine right time is taking the needs and desires of all of us into account. So when things don't seem to be going your way, keep going. Remember that everything is lining up in divine order for the good of everyone involved. Your job is to set a clear intention for yourself, set a clear course of action for yourself, to stay rooted in gratitude and keep going. Keep putting one foot in front of the other, especially when things don't seem to be happening on the timeline that you think they should. A molecule that stops moving disappears. So keep going with purpose and on purpose, because life is unfolding for you in perfect harmony and in divine right time. All right, good people, share, comment, and let's get it done this year. Until soon, much love.